Says an error occurred. I think you might be live on YouTube, Sileo. YouTube looks like it's up, but I don't think X or any of the other ones are.
No. Actually, Xander, it says on my X, we're live.
All right, so we're live, Big Silz.
So it says we are live. So I'm going to assume we are live. Look at 8. Like I told you guys, man, don't ever in a million years, ever hold us down here. This is absolutely great. All right, guys, I can't thank you guys enough for coming aboard here, man. Hey, cold. Not even, I don't know if this was a cyber attack or not. I have no idea. And here we are. Awesome. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. By the way, I don't even know if we're on like YouTube or not right now. I have no idea. Okay? I have no idea if we are here. Bob Lang attacks JAKIB again. All right, here, man. I appreciate everybody coming aboard. I don't even see a number. I have no idea. So what we're going to do here, live and in living color. Very good. All right. I have no idea how many folks are watching the program. Let me take a look over at X here and see what we got going on here. All right. Yeah, we're live. Actually, I can't. It's kind of stopped now on X here a little bit. I think it's buffering. Who cares? All right, guys. YouTube is up. That's all we need. All right. It's funny. I was going to start my program out by saying this today. You ready? So from June 12th until July 21st, this is what we call Big Silz country. This is Big Silz time. From today, June 12th until July 21. Why is it Big Silz country? Because it's Big Silz time to shine. This is the time here where I get to throw my topics out. Oh, by the way, let me go over here. That's right, Brad. Here we go, bad puppy. Here we go over here. Hang on here. I got to go over and I got to get to Chris Sims's list. This is one of the greatest lists of all time. Here we are right here. Look at this. The official Chris Sims list is out. And here are the top 10 quarterbacks in pro football. Here we go here. Look at this. I didn't make this up. Number 10. There he is. Malibu Hurts. Sitting at number 10. Dropped down from 9 a year ago. Baker Mayfield at number 9. Justin Herbert at number 8. CJ Stroud at number 7. Matthew Stafford at number 6. Jaden Daniels at number 5. Patrick Mahomes, number 4. Joe Burrow, number 3. Josh Allen, number 2. Lamar Jackson, number 1. There is your official list of the top quarterbacks in pro football through Chris Sims's eyes. How good is the list? Let me see here. How good would I say that list is? I'd put Allen number 1. I'd put Mahomes, I put Mahomes number here. I would do this. Mahomes number 1. By the way, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the super chats. Guys were awesome. We were going back and forth on the chat box, and while we were waiting here, and I can't thank you. JAKIB is king. They can't stop us. Absolutely. Hey, guys, I got to do me a favor, guys. Okay? Twiz, absolutely great. Guys, do me a favor. Okay? Do me a favor. super chats are needed today. You know, we're not IP. So we lost about an hour and a half. And I guess, hey, maybe Crossing Broad is right. Am I begging? Yeah, here I am. Okay? So let's get some supers in here by the end of the program. We're going to take you all the way up until 6 o'clock Eastern. Xander's going to join me at the top of the hour. So if I had to put my list, thank you, Twiz. Hey, man, I'll tell you what, we had a lot of fun. You know what? And what's cool is that when I was talking to you guys reminded me of back home. All my friends back home just talking shit to each other. Nobody gets their panties in a bind. That shit's good. Flexing. Okay, Flexing. You get a free shot at me. Hey, Flexing, great. Thank you. You get a free shot. Everyone, hey, supers, you guys get free shots. Look at this. Flexing again. Okay? Okay? Thank you very much. Absolutely awesome. Thank you again. Thank you again. Flexing, killing it. There we go. Hey, so my list off that Chris Sims thing. All supers, guys. We need them today big time. So let's see here. I put Allen 1. No, Mahomes 1. I put Allen 2. Let's see what else. I would put Allen. I'd put Burrow 3. I put Lamar 4. I put Malibu Hurts 5. I would put Stafford 6. I would put Mayfield 7. CJ 8. Herbert 9. And Daniel. Daniel's, here's my takeaway. And now James Jones is in here. Listen, guys, I love the kid. I think the kid's got a chance to be a superstar. But he's got to show me 2 years in a row. I just can't go off of 1 year. I just can't. This is the real barbershop talk. No holes, JAKIB. You guys are great. Thank you for the super chats, man. Totally need them today. Silz just got done laying the smackdown on Google CEO. As I left, I had to say to him, how you doing? So this is happening again. Hey, Martin, that's awesome, man. Hey, you had it. That's a famous dude. You're part of the family, Martin, when you're dropping it. How you doing? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Mikey's giving $10 for Stevie. Stevie, how you doing? All right. Stevie just got $10. How you doing? Hit that like button, guys. Hey, you guys, I'm telling you, man. Let me take a look at that over here. How you guys did on the likes. You guys did a killer job on the likes too, man. That's great. Guys, man, you held it in there. You had it over 50. And you guys are killing it. Absolutely awesome. Oh, so like I said, okay, this is our time where we can sit around and throw our topics out. Hit the like button. All right. I want to ask you guys a question. Let's get to our topics. A little behind. So we got a lot to kind of jam in here, okay? Hey, and by the way, I pushed our guest. Xander's going to join us, though, at the top of the hour. So I pushed our guest till tomorrow, okay? CJ. Everybody gets a golfer's clap. Hey, by the way, this is a clap you don't have to take Jexter Cycling to. How you doing? Hey. All right. All right, how you doing? All right. So the roster you have right now. Hey, bud. You guys are killing it again. Thank you. You showed us a lot this week. True Warrior. Dude. Thank you. Remember all the shit talking we do. It's in fun. Hey, I promise you, most people can't take it. They get bent out of shape. Guys are killing it already, man. Thank you. Hey, big push to 6 o'clock Eastern. Thank you, guys. All of that is thank you. Keeps the show going, keeps us going. Okay? How about this? Kim, I'm getting better, man. No way. I'm getting better. Okay? I'm getting totally better. Look at this shit, man. Dude, thank you so much. Jeff, awesome. Abe, for Silz versus J-Mac showdown. Thank you. This is good, man. Super chats are needed today. Okay, let me ask you, as you guys are doing this, and I can't, you know what? I'm humbled. I hung here, man. I waited. I was not going anywhere till the last second, which was 6. No way. Okay? I was not going to not be here. You guys are here every day. Look at Twiz. Twiz gives me more shit than anybody on here, I think. That's awesome of you, dude. Okay, wait. Enough with the sappy shit. So, get back to work. All right. Hang on here. Bob Lang and the Canadians tried to shut us down. Not happening. How you doing? All right. Dude, this is great. Way to go. Shit. All good, man. Hey, Twiz. Dude, stop being a wussy, man. Get back to work here. Yeah, my kids on. I can't swear like that. Go to work. Look at James Jones. All right, let me ask you guys. So this 2025 roster, right now, you think this roster has a shot to be better than 22 and 24? Now, I'm going to ask you to try to do something difficult. You know what that is? I'm going to try to ask you to think how you felt last offseason, getting ready for the 24 year. Did you think that was a Super Bowl team? Nobody did. Nobody thought that was better. So wait a minute. Prince, you had two corners that were Pro Bowlers. You don't really think this roster's better than that 22 roster where you had 70 sacks. That 2022 roster, you're saying you think you're better now. At what position? Where? Linebacker? I don't know. You don't know what you're going to have September. Most of your linebackers that you have are injured. I mean, does this look like one of those Super Bowl rosters? Thank you, Mad D. Awesome. Thank you. Okay? You tell me. I don't know yet. I would say this. This is probably more truthful right here. Okay? Young guys have to prove it. Look at how they appeared under Vic for 1 year. 2 years under the scheme will be better for the defense. Yeah, but dude, Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. That is not Darius Slay in a first-round pick. Mad D, thank you. Topics since when does bullshit artists need topics? Okay. I'm not sure what that means. I'm sure it's a slap, but it's all good. Thank you, Mad D. Chris Sims is a poser. I would say this to you. Here, let's take a look at it. Are you better in the D line? No. Than you were in 22. You had Javon Hargrave. You had Fletcher Cox. You had Brandon Graham. And you had Josh Sweat. How in the world do you think you're better than that group? With this group? You don't even know who's playing end. Moro Jomo is better than Brandon Graham? By the way, for the record, you do not have the best D line in the NFC East. That's in New York. Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Dexter Lawrence. That's the best D-line in the NFC East. It's not close. I mean, you don't even know who your ends are. You have no idea who one of your edge rushers is yet. They've got a multitude of them. Now, I'm not saying they're a better unit than you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they have a better D-line. What does that have to do with a better unit? Nothing. And by the way, once again, M. Reyes, that fucking 24 team is gone. Gone. You don't have the same unit. Brandon Graham's gone. Josh Sweat's gone. Milton Williams is gone. And no, you don't have replacements for them. You have bodies for them. Okay. You're right. Name me one player on your ends that is better than Brian Burns. You don't have one. Name me a better pass rusher than even Thibodeau. Okay, you say Nolan Smith? Well, they've got also Abdul Carter they took. Where in the world do you think? And Dexter Lawrence is better than Jalen Carter. Carter's a great player. Dog, you're right. Until proven otherwise. So look, this is what this guy says. If you change out the entire group, or you change your unit out, you're still the king until someone says you're not. Even if you have different faces. It's not how it works. That's why very few teams in the NFL have ever repeated. That is so not true. Okay? Eagles defense is going to be trash, dead last in the NFC East this year. Watch and see. I don't think that. Texas, I'll tell you one more time. I mean, if the Dallas Cowboys cannot stop the run, you are not going to win ball games this year. You are not. Our edge rushing room is Cool Runnings. Dude, I don't really think much of your edge rushers. Outside of Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith, you don't have anybody. And everybody that tells me those guys, until proven otherwise, that's right, I'm going to take an M. Reyes line. Until proven otherwise, those guys are cast-offs of other teams. Until proven otherwise. So, M. Reyes, I'm going to use a line from you. Until proven otherwise, they're bums. Okay? Every year, a team is different. Merrill Reese tells you that. Merrill Reese tells you all the time it's a different unit. It's an entirely different football team. Yeah. Completely different. So when you say that, I mean, you always got to love M. Reyes because you know what M. Reyes will tell you? He thinks they got the same freaking football team. They don't. It's not true. Fake news. How you doing? Fake news. Different team. Every team that I have covered since I've covered the Philadelphia Eagles has been completely different. Every one of them. Oh, by the way, I want to do this. I want to give some love out before we continue. My uncle, Bob Robustelli wrote this book on Andy. And I got to throw this out there. Very cool. The guy Robustelli, the Pope of the National Football League. I'm going to get Xander a copy here. And Bob wrote me a great letter here. And I'm proud to be part of their family. By the way, I want to show you this, man. This is really cool. Here's a family picture of Jackie. Here's a family picture of Jackie and Robustelli. There's a picture of Robustelli with Mickey Mantle. There's when Andy was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's pretty cool, man. Family pictures. There's the great D-line that we had. Robustelli, MVP. He won the Burt Bell Award, too. Pretty cool. you got a family member who was an NFL most valuable player. And that's the guy behind me there, Robustelli, the Pope of the National Football League. How you doing? Too bad the Giants don't look anything like that franchise today. They don't even resemble that franchise. Okay. Thanks, M. Reyes. Pretty cool, dude, isn't it? Yeah, Jackie Robinson lived in Stamford, Connecticut. I told you, well, me and Gary Cobb, who were from Stamford, Jackie, when we were young kids, he would come by. I used to go to a school, St. John's, and also KT Murphy. And he would come by and he would do a lot of youth programs. There's a Jackie Robinson youth program when I was a little tiny kid in Stamford. And Jackie would come by and he used to go to the middle schools, and I met Jackie Robinson numerous times when I was a little tiny kid. And you'd see him up at the Italian Center too. So when I was a young kid, being around Jackie Robinson was absolutely awesome. Rachel's still a friend of mine to this day. I learned how to play sports on the Jackie Robinson sports fields in Stamford, Connecticut. So it was pretty dope being around him. Okay. I mean, yeah, I got one of the coolest things on the planet is that you could be over at Robustelli's house and there's Jackie Robinson sitting in the living room. It's crazy great. Coop, Reed, Bond believe this defense could be great again. Okay. They all said another year in Vic's defense will make a big difference. Nobody's saying that those three players are not going to be great. But it's a different unit, dude. It's a completely different unit. I mean, I don't care how you look at it. That was an absolutely great defensive football team a year ago because of what? Because of the versatility you had. So, again, I mean, and here, let's do this. So, my opinion is that defense and that football team, do you guys have a roster that looks anything remotely close to 2022 and 2024? I'm not going to lie to this. So I'm going to tell you, I don't think you're anywhere near the 2022. However, I think you're closer to the question marks of 24. Okay? I had questions at edge. I had questions at linebacker. Nakobe Dean stunk. Nolan Smith stunk. Okay? Those were guys who were in the system a year. You don't have players like that. Like you guys just got through saying. You had guys in the system, another year in the system. Well, you don't have. Uche has not been in this system. Aziz has not been in this system. The rookies that you drafted have not been in this system. Those guys we all had question marks on, all were in a system for the year. They all had an understanding of what zone defense and what that defense was going to be. These are all new faces, especially in key points. And by the way, this stupid Keely Ringo talk. Dog, he couldn't get on the field last year. Why now is he great? Why is he great now? What has changed that he's so great? What has changed? You're not going to get the play you got out of Isaiah Rodgers and Slay. You are not. You think let me ask you this. Do you guys think, okay? Do you guys think that you're going to get the same production this year? Let me see what you think. Are you going to get the same production of a year ago when you had Slay and Rodgers with Ringo and Adoree Jackson? Do you believe that? How many people believe that? You're going to get the same level of play that you got on that side of the ball at cornerback 1. How many people believe that? Let me see what you say. And I'll know to move on to another topic. Okay? Tell me, do you believe you're going to get the same production that you got a year ago? Okay? With Slay and Isaiah Rodgers. That you're going to get with a guy who was cut and a guy who couldn't step on the field last year. Do you believe that? Look at this. Again, it's time to move on to a different topic. Get this. Steve believes he's going to get the same production. That's asinine. It's time to move on to a different topic. It's just totally time. And Yale goes, he's 22. That's the point. It's on-the-job training, isn't it, Yale? Do you really think that Kelee Ringo has the same skill set that Quinyon Mitchell has? He's the same age. You don't think Vic would have spotted that? Thanks for the supers. Guys, appreciate the supers. When I see Ringo, I see bum Eli Apple. Let me ask you this. Again, why didn't Vic last year? Are they the same age? Let me see here. Quinyon Mitchell. How old is he? How old is Quinyon Mitchell? Let's see how old he is. Quinyon Mitchell. Q Mitchell. How old is he? How old is this guy? He's 23. So this guy's old. He's 23. How old is Kelee Ringo? Today we're not better, but in 6 to 8 weeks, who knows? That could be very true. Okay, so let's see here. Kelee Ringo. Been on the team 3 years. Okay, let me see here. Here's Ringo. Kelee Ringo. So June 27th, he'll be 23 years old. He's the same freaking age as Quinyon Mitchell. And you're trying to tell me Vic can't see the same talent level in Kelee Ringo a year ago. And you're trying to tell me he wouldn't have found a spot for that kid if he had the same skill set. Ringo's 23, June 27th. Are you really trying to tell me that? That he has the same talent as Q. And Q went to Toledo. That's fucking crazy. I'm awake, or you? Why didn't he see the field a year ago? Answer. Why didn't he see the field? He couldn't beat out Isaiah Rodgers. He couldn't beat out Isaiah Rodgers. You can't beat out Isaiah Rodgers. How are you going to be a top-flight corner? Isaiah's a role player. That's the point. Q stepped on the field. Vic saw the talent and knew immediately that kid, he didn't even need to see him starting. He knew he was going to play. You guys are nuts with this Kelee Ringo bullshit. Honestly, if you think that kid and Vic didn't do his job a year ago. Then Vic didn't do his job and he had the number one defense in the NFL. So you're telling me, what, was he holding him back? Is that what you're saying? Hey, wait, I'm waiting for 2025 to play him because, this year he's not good enough. But next year, even though they're the same age as Quinyon Mitchell, how stupid can you be? You can't be any dumber. Vic didn't need to see that kid play, and he knew he had skill set. Isaiah Rodgers Kelee couldn't beat out Isaiah Rodgers. And you're trying to tell me that kid's the same skill as Quinyon Mitchell. How dumb can you be? That's right. Next guy up. Financially, that's true. Keely Ringo's next guy up because they don't want to spend money. And they didn't want to pay Slay $10 million. You're damn right he's next guy up. Darius Slay not being on that team is a financial reason. Nothing more. Maybe banged up, but you got rid of both of them? Think of this. The two dudes you got rid of were signed for $18 million, almost $20 million between those two. You signed a guy for $1 million, and you got a third-round draft choice. Or is he a free? What round did he go, Keely Ringo? What round did Keely Ringo go in? Fourth round. So you got a fourth rounder and a guy who's on a minimum contract. And you got rid of two guys with $20 million wrapped around their number now. How dumb is that? That's not even in the same conversation. How do you go there? How do you go from two players? One signed an $8 million deal and the other a $10 million deal. I was shocked Slay got $10 million. That's $18 million you had on your team. You didn't want to pay that. You didn't want to pay it. Keely Ringo, if he plays, he's playing because he's cheap, not because he's the heir apparent to Slay. He's a gap corner. You know what that means? He's waiting for the next guy. They're going to give him every shot. They like the kid. He's got great being a great athlete. Are you a great corner? If that's the case, why don't you just go to a track and field team and go get a great fast athlete or gym? Again, ask yourself, BS, he's ready? Why wasn't he ready last year? He's the same age as Quinyon Mitchell. That guy's the same age. You're telling me Vic? How did Vic miss on that? Why would Vic have played him over him? Especially if they thought they weren't going to bring back Isaiah. Why? You're praying for something to come through. That's what you're hoping for. You're praying for it. So again, I mean, look, here's the other issue. I heard the guys this morning talking about the linebacker room. How do you feel about the linebacker room on June 12th? You guys aren't anywhere near those 22 and 24 rosters. How do you feel about the linebacking room? How do you feel about the linebacking room right now? That corner position to me is a problem. We'll see. How do you feel about your linebacker room? How do you feel about it? Silz, there wasn't much of a decline when Rodgers had to step in for Slay. Ringo wasn't up to speed. What do you mean he wasn't up to speed? What are you talking about? He was a healthy kid a year ago. You like it. What do you like about it? That Dean and Jahad Campbell are injured? And that right now, if you had to play a ball game, it's Trotter and Mundon, the kid from Georgia? How's that sound? So you're assuming those guys coming off of injuries are going to be ready to rock in the first 4 weeks of the season. One of your tougher parts of your schedule. September, you got a pretty good opening to your season. If I'm not mistaken, it's Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, and I think Bucks. Right? You think you're going to need a full unit of healthy guys for those guys. You're playing Dak, Mahomes, Stafford, and Mayfield. You think you're going to need a healthy linebacking and secondary core? Those are tough teams. But by the way, some pretty good defensive-minded guys in the middle there. Todd Bowles is there. He's got your number. I think the Rams are coming up. Spagnuolo, you guys did a great job. There's going to be a revenge game. I don't know what to expect with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are walking backwards. So again, see what Yale says? I feel good today about the fact that you got two dudes injured that you're counting on that will be ready for the start of the season. Shit, there's a conversation that Campbell won't be ready until late August. And we'll see what Dean is. So you're counting on, right now, this is what I asked you about your roster. You're counting on Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson giving you more production or as good as Slay and Rogers, and you're counting on your guys being healthy for September, correct? Okay. So how are you better? Now, I'll be candid. I didn't know that Kaiser White would be that good. Kaiser White had 120 tackles in 22. He was a really good ball player. Had 122 tackles, and the other guy, TJ Edwards, had 160. You think there's any coincidence that the 2 years you went to the Super Bowl, you had exceptional linebacker play? Okay? Get this. Absolutely. So you're confident that Adoree Jackson, who was fucking cut, and Keely Ringo, who couldn't make the starting lineup or even the backup, is going to give you the same production as Slay and Rogers. That's wishful thinking. It's complete wishful thinking. Okay? Now, again, I'm not here going to tell you that you need to have. I think this about your edge rushers. My only concern about your edge rushers is not pass rushing. I could care less if they give you 11, 12, 13 sacks. I do not care. My question is going to be, can they set the edge? Can they play the run? Every single thing that you guys do defensively is predicated off run stoppers, not pass rushers. Don't you find that to be a little bit, you had 70 sacks one year. And the year you won the Super Bowl, you didn't have one double-digit guy. You didn't even have a guy with 9 sacks. I'm more worried at corner 2 than any other position on the defense. And the depth too, Kyle. Now, do I think that this unit, if the young guys and all that, if maybe some garbage cans turn into trash cans, sure. Okay? Yes. All that true. Okay, and you're looking at it from that end. That's fine, especially coming off a Super Bowl, and you should. But I'm gonna lean on what Vic says. Okay? We didn't find out how good that defense was until probably week 5. I think week 5 and 6 when they put Cooper in. All right? So look at Spit. Okay. If Q goes down, who's your depth at Q? At corner. Who's your depth? Who's your depth if Q goes down? Last year it was Rodgers. Takes time. You're telling me it's better now than it was then. Eli Ricks. Seriously, did that guy play last year? Okay. If Bond misses any time, Who plays in for him? There's no Oren Burks yet. You don't know who there might be an Oren Burks on the team. Who plays for Burks? Campbell's not ready. You think your depth's fine. Keely, the champs Rango, first team All-Pro, baby. I know. Devin White, first team All-Pro, baby. 80% of you in here kept telling me that bullshit. Yeah, okay. Devin White. They didn't even bring his ass down to Brazil. Okay. All right. So again, do I think that this roster is as good as that Super Bowl rosters? No. I don't know. Now, what did I think of last year's team? I didn't think last year's defense was going to be great. I didn't. But you had dudes that were in the system a year. Now you don't. Got draft choices and garbage cans. We'll see. It's great to see in here that Eagle fans believe you have a better roster than the Super Bowl team that finished second in the NFL in defense and had the 8th best offense or whatever the offense was ranked in 22. Man, you talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. Unbelievable. All right, so let me ask you this. So let's go to another topic here. By the way, we'll talk to Xander here in a couple minutes. What's Kevin Patullo going to be? Thanks, Blaine. Guys, all supers go to the top, and we appreciate them today. I don't trust our depth both sides of the ball. I trust the depth on offense and the line a little more because of the coach. But outside of AJ and Devontae, what do you have? Jahan? Maybe. Maybe another year with Jahan and Jalen. Maybe that'll be better. Okay? Maybe. Let me ask you about Patullo. Thank you, Blaine. You think Kevin Patullo's going to be closer? Thank you, JT. Thank you, brother. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are great. You guys are killing it on the supers. I can't thank you enough. You know, we got an hour and a half show, and because of StreamYard, thank you, guys. What's Kevin Patullo going to be closer to? Brian Johnson or Kellen Moore? What guy do you think he's going to be closer to when it comes to play calling? What are you going to get from him? What are you going to get from him? Well, why do you think he's going to be more like Kellen Moore? He's not going to be anywhere near Shane Steichen. They ran RPOs. They're not putting a $50 million guy in an RPO system. No way. In between? What's that look like? What do you think you're going to get with Kevin Patullo? Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate that, man. You guys are just absolutely awesome. What's up, Big Silz? Didn't think we would see you today. Well, we waited the entire time. Big Z and I were waiting. So what are you going to get from Kevin Patullo, who's never called a play in his life except for his kid's flag football game? What are you going to get from him? Even Jalen Hurts said, wait a minute here. For us to determine whether or not he's going to be a good play caller, we got to see how the sequencing goes. So you experts in here, you tell me, what are we looking at? Is he going to be a pizzeria guy? Or is he going to be a guy who's going to be like, I saw somebody in here, Air Coryell. Hurts is throwing for 5,500 yards and 48 touchdowns. Is that where we're going? Yeah. You know what I would do if I'm Kevin Patullo? Jalen, come here, man. Hold on for a second. Jalen. Let's hear it. Before I bring Xander up, I'm going to tell you something about Jalen Hurts' 2905. Nowhere in football history has anybody ever put up such lame numbers, okay, in a great offense like that. What does that tell you? That they didn't have to ask that guy to do shit. You know what John said today? Okay, he didn't have to be elite. He doesn't have to be elite week to week. John McMullen said that. That's how good you were. You were so good. Your quarterback doesn't have to be elite every week. There's nowhere in the NFL where a quarterback doesn't have to be elite every week. 31 other teams wish they were you. The less he throws, isn't it funny? The less amount of yards he threw for resulted in the best success. Do you think, or is that just coincidence? I'm not really ripping you. So you're trying to tell me if Jalen throws for 2,800 yards this year and the Eagles win the Super Bowl, what's the difference? That means teams in the league couldn't stop you running the ball still. He had his worst year as a week-to-week guy. Not worst year. I shouldn't say worst. Because that's not what I'm looking for. That's not fair. Silz, me and my grandpa thinks the Eagles quit in 22 on defense. You mean 23? That 22 defense was pretty good. Yeah, I don't think that 22 defense didn't quit. The 23 defense quit at the end of the year. Quit or shitty coaching. I don't know. You pick one. That's going to be interesting. What are you going to get with Kevin Patullo? Okay, what do you think you're going to get? So I'm going to ask. I'm going to bring Big Z in here in a second here because I'm going to ask him. Okay, I'm going to ask Xander. What do you think? And will the 2025 Eagles have a better roster than either of the 22 or 24 Philadelphia Eagle rosters? Without further ado, I heard it this morning. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to be elite. I heard it from John McMullen's mouth. And I know I heard it on June 12th. I could have swore I heard it. He's got one job to do. Don't F it up. I like that. Without further ado, the man, the myth who kept hanging in there. Let's go. What is it, Crack Streams? Oh, no. It's StreamYard. Without further ado, I thought we were going to go on Crack Streams. Without further ado, our boy Big Z, Xander Krause. Way to hang in there, brother.
What's up, Big Silz?
Dude, what a day.
Yeah, what the heck, man? What the heck? I mean,